If you've taken a deep dive into the digital marketing world, then I'm sure you've heard about the incredible returns that are possible with Facebook ads. At one point, it was all Gary Vee talked about, and it's still all he talks about, understandably so. Often mentioning not only their value, but also how underpriced, which is great for the advertisers. Hey everyone, my name's Lisa Ann, and today we're talking about Facebook ads and how to maximize your campaign with an ad optimization rules. Facebook is by far the best place to advertise online. I've been doing it for over 5 years now. Most social media users are more likely to be active here than other platforms. And don't just think it's my opinion. The statistics say it all. Facebook ads have been proven to be very effective for B2B and B2C companies. And best of all, it's very easy to use, and you can learn how to make a Facebook campaign relatively quickly. There's not as much guesswork like there is with other platforms. I'm talking to you, Google AdWords. The user interface is, I would have to say, the easiest to navigate out of all of them. There's a common thing that I encounter though, when it comes to Facebook ads. And it's that people think that they can, or rather should, just turn them on and off as they please. Facebook is a complex ecosystem, and ads shouldn't be treated like a light switch. Not just out of respect for Facebook's well-executed ad manager, but because how you approach your Facebook ads will dictate how well they perform and how much you'll win or lose. I'm talking about money, people, but actually, I'm talking about time and money. Time? What? You have to spend time on these ads. You don't have time? Yeah, no one does. But with my expert advice, I can save you immense amount of time and help you ensure that your ads kick butt. Believe it or not, you can run an ad, pour a truckload of money into it, and not get much of a result at all. I'm sure you'd find that rather disappointing. Don't you agree? There are a lot of things to consider when creating an ad and what you should do to make it effective, or aka optimized. First things first, always know your ad objective when running ads on Facebook. Facebook has attempted to make advertising as dummy-proof as possible by providing what's called an ad objective, so that you can truly get the results you seek. But there will always be those people that don't want to waste their time reading or double checking when in fact you should. In fact, I have more than one video about how to navigate Facebook ad objectives, and I'll link those in the description below. After watching those, as well as this video, I promise you will be far better equipped. Ad objectives range from things like brand awareness to traffic and many others. Get familiarized with their specific definitions because sometimes things aren't as they seem. Always, always, always check the details behind the name of the ad objective to understand what results you can expect. It's like getting coffee but forgetting to mention you want soy milk and not real milk. Well, sweetheart, did you happen to mention that to anybody? Ad objectives are the first layer of the cake. What's next? Market audience or target audience, or your ideal customer or your market persona or customer avatar. I cannot tell you how many names there are for it, but you must know your audience, even if it's just a few details to start. They can be enough for you to begin. Think about things like age, gender, and location at the very least, but eventually you'll want to test other criteria too, like personal interest and consumer behavior. Think of Facebook advertising as if it's a smart light bulb. It's far from one-dimensional. Did you know that with a smart light bulb, you can adjust the brightness based on percentages? Not to mention adjust its cool colors. Pretty cool, right? Anyways, if you don't set your audience and tweak it over time, you'll waste your ad spend. Users who have no interest in you or what you're selling will see your ad and scroll right past them. What a waste, and how do we remedy that? Using core custom lookalike audiences to target those who will be most vulnerable to your snake oil. A core audience is what we discussed, super simple stuff: location, demographic, interest, and behavior. Custom audiences are already existing customers or audiences. Now, why would I advertise to my already existing customers? They're already customers. Duh, you might think. Well, hello, you should always be targeting your existing customers for something. Don't you know the ABCs of sales? Always be closing. Facebook allows you to upload your existing customer base from your email list, CRM, or other database. By advertising to already existing customers, you can further increase sales while nurturing more leads. We got core covered, custom covered, and now on to lookalike audiences. This is where I teach you a bit about the Facebook Pixel. It's a piece of code not too dissimilar from Google Analytics that you place on your website. But as a side note, they do perform different tasks, so you should always have both. Facebook describes the Pixel as this. The Facebook Pixel is an analytics tool that allows you to measure the effectiveness of your advertising by understanding the actions people take on your website. You can use the Pixel to make sure your ads are shown to the right people. The coolest thing about a Facebook Pixel is that it gets better and smarter over time. The more data you feed it, the more it understands. The Pixel will allow you to collect data that it can use for creating lookalike audiences or retargeting lists. It gathers users' information when people come to your site who also happen to be signed into their Facebook pages, and honestly, most people shopping online are. Facebook is the best man. Who can resist? But let's discuss automation and spending some time on choosing the right settings to save yourself an advertising headache and preserve your budget. Yes, that time has come. Let's talk about Facebook optimization rules. First and foremost, rules allow you to control precisely how much money you spend on ads each day. Rules are worthwhile because you can set commands that will maximize your best performing ads and limit ad spend on your worst performing ones. You'll achieve higher return on investments, increase conversions, and reduce your advertising costs by setting limits on the duration an ad is run depending on its performance. Not setting up rules is kind of silly because it can save you from a lot of concern when your budget isn't exponential. Most people's isn't, and even mass corporations with tons of moolah have a cap on their advertising budget. With rules, you can tell Facebook when to pause ads, decrease bids, and/or increase bids based on certain factors such as CPC, CPA, amount spent, or frequency, among other things. Rules don't take long to implement, but if it's your first time, you should take your time. Otherwise, setting the wrong rules can make for an expensive mistake. We can look at Facebook rules kind of like shopping smart. You can still get all the things you want, but if you're clever and plan ahead, certainly at a better price. With rules, you won't have to worry about pausing an ad because it's not performing well. Facebook now will automatically reduce your budget for that ad. And you no longer have to fear about overspending. You can set caps. It's awesome. To set rules, mosey on over to the Facebook Ads Manager. Go to the Campaign tab and click Create Rule. The first thing I suggest you do is adjust what's known as frequency capping. You can cap frequency based on the number of impressions per day, week, or month. Always keep in mind to edit and manage your rules as your ad goals change. The internet has asked, should you pause Facebook ads at night? Answer, there is no need. Facebook is constantly collecting data points, and when you stop an ad or pause it, the ad loses its optimization, potentially bringing it back to its learning stage. You won't lose money by letting your ads run at night because you pay for impressions, not the time of day. And remember, Facebook has its own algorithm. It understands when to show ads to the people who will be most interested. And by turning your ads on and off, you're not letting the platform do the work of analyzing what works best and when. CPC versus CPAs. Cost per acquisition stomps cost per click. Acquisition matters, clicks don't. That being the case, at times it's worth upping your bids and acquire to get more customers. I cannot stress how important it is to identify the right schedule by analyzing which ad placement performs best and during what times. Facebook describes placements as the places where you can run your ads. Depending on the objective you choose when you create your campaign, your ads can appear on Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and audience networks. There are 18 ad placements to choose from. Facebook suggests that you choose automatic placement, but it's never a bad idea to do some of your own A/B testing. When you're first beginning to make ads, you should run them on every placement possible, but not every ad will work on every placement. That is why it's valuable to go back and look at placements that worked out well in the past. When you look at the Ads Manager campaign view, hit time of day, viewer's time zone, and analyze which time produced the most favorable results. The time with the highest click-through rate, or CTR, and lowest cost per lead are the ones you should be aiming for. Make it a point to run your ads during these specific, proven to be effective times, and run all of your ads on a schedule. It's the best bet you can make. But that's all I have for you today. I know this video on Facebook ads and optimization rules was super packed with information, but remember, it's best to do things right the first time around. Implementing these steps is sure to save you both time and money in the long run. And if you learned something new today, do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps a lot when it comes to the YouTube algorithm and knows to send more people my way who also could use this information. Consider subscribing to my channel to get more from your marketing, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.